Hi, I'm Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of Regalytics. Here's your update on the week's 25,948 alerts. The regulator of the week is the Bank of International Settlements, which is basically where all the central banks in the world work together on global monetary policy. Anyway, there's been a project going on to explore the uses of CBDCs, or central bank digital currencies, and one of them is called, I love this, Project Icebreaker. It's a partnership between the banks of Israel, Norway, and Sweden through the BIS Innovation Hub, their Nordic Center, hence Icebreaker, the catchy name. Anyway, they successfully tested a pilot where someone could transact between two complex payment systems in different countries and still get best execution or pricing for foreign exchange services using smart contracts. And since we're already on the topic of the week is digital assets. The SEC and the CFTC are not done going after FTX, not by a long shot. This week, they also charged another senior engineering executive for aiding and abetting with the intent of fraud. But also, the CFTC has added a new digital asset market subcommittee and is, by the way, looking for nominations. So if you know anybody, send an intro. In the financial compliance space, Montana passed a new law this week that revises the Montana Bank Act and changes the whole structure of how it is governed. Moving on to employment. So the FTC has extended its public comment period on the whole non-compete thing, and this is definitely not a surprise to me. I just checked and they're clocking just shy of 9,000 comments already, and they're still coming in strong. Also in employment, the SEC busted a CEO who privately owned a jet. He privately leased the jet to an aircraft management company to charter for third parties. But then, as the CEO of the company, he paid the management company approximately $3 million to charter business related to travel without disclosing that he himself owned the jet and therefore earned $1.6 million of the $3 million paid to the company. Anyway, the SEC found it to be a failure in disclosure for executive compensation perks. And the saddest employment alert of all, ExxonMobil totally failed. A black employee found a hangman's noose in his locker. He sued. And at the time when he reported it, Exxon apparently was aware of 3 other nooses that had been placed in the same complex. The EEOC determined that Exxon investigated some, but not all, of the prior incidents and failed to take measures reasonably calculated to end the harassment. The pension fund fight continues raging against the Department of Labor. Red states are arguing that allowing retirement funds to consider ESG is a violation of, safety rights to workers because it's going to lose them money. There is, of course, a counter movement led by California this week that is arguing that the DOL rule helps fiduciaries make investment decisions that better address the long-term investment horizons of the employees by allowing them to consider ESG factors, and particularly the costs and impacts of climate change. Speaking of blue states, Oregon introduced a bill that would require its own state treasurer of all entities to make climate risk disclosures to potential investors when marketing securities. Moving on to other interesting state tidbits, the Tennessee Public Utility Commission is holding a hearing to discuss rules regarding utility cybersecurity reporting. The California Energy Commission approved a resolution recognizing and committing the agency to support California tribal energy sovereignty and independence. The resolution was approved during a first-of-its-kind meeting between Native American tribal leaders and commissioners from the CEC and the California Public Utilities Commission. New York passed a law giving a private right of action for the unlawful dissemination of a personal image. So this is the beginning of a whole body of law coming soon. And then South Dakota, the least regulated state, has a new rule about how you can conduct criminal background checks for the renewal of a gold card or enhanced permit to carry a concealed pistol. Dare I say it? Gun control? That's it this week for Regalytics. Join me every Wednesday for your dose of regulatory news.